Ruthie from RuthieGray.mom, and welcome to Instagram Insider Hacks. So easy, your mom can do it. This is the podcast that teaches you how to authentically deliver your message in a non-pushy way. If you want to receive engagement and investment on your Insta time, listen in. And now, here's your host, me, Ruthie Gray. Hello and welcome to episode 4, Follower Transformations, or Insta Transformations, I like to say. These episodes highlight pro coaching members sharing their personal triumphs and how they made Instagram work for them. You will hear the before and after story today. Today's title is How Changing My Instagram Strategy Delivered Clients Without Sales Pressure. And my very special guest is Cathy Lawdanski, who is a consultant and team leader with Rodan Fields. Her jam is helping midlife women grow in their personal development and faith. She believes you are never too old to try something new or to have great skin. And that really resonates with me, Cathy, because I'm starting a podcast in my mid-50s. So yay to that statement and welcome.
Amen. That's right.
I'm so glad you're
I
here.
applaud you for that.
Yeah. So Cathy and I are kind of in the same time of life, and we're both living our second lives after raising kids and doing, spreading our wings and doing some fun things for ourselves and for our households and for our husbands.
Yeah.
So, Cathy, thank you so much for being here.
I'm so excited to be on your podcast.
Hi, you are the very first interview, and
Yay.
You have just been a true trooper and sport, hanging in there through trial and error as we
That's how we learn.
battled technology, but we're doing it today. So I want to just jump right in and ask you something here. So talking about your before life on Instagram, before you found your footing, what was your IG platform like? And what were some of the frustrations that you experienced?
I was on Instagram as a blogger, and really all I knew was how to get a post up. And when Instagram stories came, I knew how to put one up, but there was never anything strategic about it. The goal at that time as a blogger, one of the ways you make income is to get brands to notice you and pay you to promote their products. So I knew how to use Instagram for that. But when I got into network marketing with Rodan Fields, the ball game was different. I was looking for people that I didn't have to cold message, but my content would resonate with them and they would come to me. The other difference was the blogger working with brands game was just to get as many followers as you could. That was the name of the game a few years ago. Mm-hmm. So it didn't matter who they were. It was just numbers. Didn't matter if they were engaged. Brands wanted to see numbers. Mm-hmm. We know that's different now. And especially if you're into relationship building, because people buy from people they know, like, and trust. So it's all about the relationship. That's Amen. How it's different now. Yeah.
Amen. So you're saying that you were trying to grow your numbers and not so much reach into the individuals as just trying to make a big whole lump sum growth. Correct?
Right.
And so, what made you change? What was the breakthrough that helped you to finally start really seeing how Instagram really works and start really reaching your ideal audience member?
Well, I saw younger consultants in my company and other companies using Instagram in ways that were appealing to me when I watched their content. and somehow got connected with you during that time and your coaching. So I took some of the free courses that you offered. Probably one of the first ones was on Instagram stories.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That progressed into a paid course on how to somehow make all of Instagram work for your business, and then into some personal coaching sessions with you that really honed in on strategy specifically for me and my business.
Right.
So I saw it working for other people. I knew it could work for me. And I knew when I started blogging in 2015, I didn't know a thing about it. So I knew the value of investing in good training instead of trying to Google everything to death, because there's a lot of information.
Right.
You can find what you need on the internet, but you have to wade through a lot of garbage.
Mm-hmm.
And then time is money. So if I put a dollar amount on my time, how much time was I spending? So that's kind of
exactly.
I think.
I agree with that. I mean, you can, and you don't know honestly whose advice really works,
right,
and whose advice doesn't work,
right.
And the best thing to do is to try out someone's free course first and see if that does work. And what Cathy's talking about is my 7-day Instagram story challenge, where you learn about gifts and how to change your color page and just all kinds of great things that you can use in stories to get you started. And that was the first thing she did. And then she invested in a pro coaching group that I had. And every once in a while I reopen. And so, I won her over, but it was with my free stuff first. And she liked, once you try someone's free training, you can find out if you like their style of training or not.
Right.
And so that really resonated with her. And then, Cathy, the part about you saw the younger bloggers being able to figure it out, the bloggers and the business women that are our age in midlife, they're the ones that I am trying to be a voice to, and they are the ones that I seem to attract because I did finally make it work for me. And they've been told they need to be on Instagram and but then they go over there and they're like, I don't understand any of this. How does it work? And how I don't see the point, and why should I spend all this time on it?
Right.
So that's
well, and that's the thing. And people in our age group fall in two camps. It's either I can't do it, I don't see the point, or okay, this is a thing, I can learn it, and it's not too hard, and finding someone who can teach you. Once you gave us steps and all the things I took there, I have a college degree and I was in a professional capacity for a number of years. I promise you. Oh, I raised kids. I managed a house. There's nothing about Instagram that's harder than making 3 dishes that are part of a meal come out at the same time. Okay, if you can do that, then you can do Instagram. But you see somebody to teach you. And I think what your courses and your coaching, or like any good coach, it was step by step. So first, I just learned stories. And I think your challenge is like one thing a day, and we could ask questions. And we were in a group learning together. Mm-hmm. It wasn't hard. It was just taking the time to do it.
That's it.
And it was so worth it. It was so worth it.
Well, I have seen you just grow. I've been right there to see you evolve and change and just blossom. And so why don't you tell us a little bit about the transformation? What are some of the things you're seeing now that you didn't see before? What are some of the fruits of your labor and your ROI?
Well, I do have people coming to me because when you're in a direct sales company, you're selling your product and you're selling your business opportunity. Mm-hmm. I have people, so I have content on both of those things. And I have people DMing me. Not all the time. I still build a relationship with people and I'll DM them, but they are much more receptive to what I offer because they know me from Instagram. So that's been a big ROI. I was just sharing the other day, I did a post. Okay, so one thing that Ruthie taught me early on was about the four neighborhoods of Instagram: the feed, the stories, IGTV, and live. And to try to be present in some form in all of the neighborhoods. And I used to get so hung up on my feed and having it be, perfect. And she really dispelled that notion that that feed had to look a certain way for me to attract people. So you don't have to be a professional photographer.
Right.
I was shocked at the number of views my IGTVs got because I'm not a big IGTV watcher, but just because I'm not doesn't mean other people aren't. And the thing about IGTV is it's searchable. So if people are on Instagram using like a search engine and are looking for how to fade dark marks on your face, well, my IGTV about that will come up. So my IGTVs get, quite a few views. My stories are great for engagement. Haven't done as much on live as I would like to, but the thing about live, especially if I bring other people into them, is I can tap in to their audience. And that's really where I'm headed next in my growth.
Is doing some live.
And the other, yeah. And the other thing I just was sharing with you the other day, I did just one post in my feed. And one thing I learned from you was how to use hashtags effectively to get more eyes on my content. And I had 14, because you can look at this in your insights, 14 people go to my profile. And in my profile is a link to my email list. Now, I don't know how many of those did that and downloaded, but it's just all connected. About half of the people that were looked at my post came from hashtags. So it shows me that what I learned and implemented is getting my content in front of a different set of eyes, which is the whole point.
Exactly. So, you learned how to make hashtags work for you. And so that's how you broaden those. It's like little ripples. They get bigger and bigger with those hashtags. It's just like throwing a pebble in the water. You see the ripple effect, and more and more people start establishing that and trust factor with you. And then they tell their friends, and it just goes on, and it's just this big ripple effect. And it's really true. I always preach this, that the more you give on Instagram, the more you get back, the more you tag people, and the more you give them shout outs and, and stories and in the feed and love on them,
right,
and comment on their stuff, the more it comes back to you. And I think you have definitely seen that return on your investment in so many ways. And how exciting that you're able to use that DM for exactly what it was intended for.
Right.
To reach your audience and to make those sales and to build those relationships right there.
I've just made so many good friends. And I know some are never going to buy from me, but I don't care because they're my friends, That's just a side thing. It has nothing to do with business. But yeah, that DM thing has been great. And I know for me, when somebody, responds to me in a DM, what that does for me. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel seen. So I'm much more likely to pay attention and buy from someone who engages with me in the DMs.
That's right. And you never know either. Someone may, they say that a person has to hear a sales pitch about 7 times before they even start being interested in it, because we are bombarded with so much information in this digital world. And so you never know and can never discount who may be the next person to invest in your business or build your team.
Right.
I think you were telling me an example of that the other day, someone that reached out to you.
Oh, yeah. I think she's going to sign today. But yeah, no, we've been talking about this for a few months. But I had somebody that just reached out. She did not use our products, but been watching my stories about my age, about the Rodan Fields business opportunity. And, some things came up and she never signed. But, life has changed for all of us in the last 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
And now having kids at home and being able to generate some income from home is very appealing. So she reached out to me again, and we're basically just in a conversation about what would be the best level for her to come in on. But and that was not somebody I had to, that I had to reach out to. Although you still have to do some of that in this business. I'm not saying that you just sit there waiting for people to DM you, but she did. Which shows me what I learned from you about the content I put out and how I present myself to people on Instagram. Mm-hmm. Here's the other thing I think has been effective that you taught me is defining your avatar. Mm-hmm. Because I sell Rodan Fields, and we sell everything from teen acne to the best anti-aging on the planet. So I could say, well, I market to everybody. Mm-hmm. But when you market, market to everybody, market to nobody. So I have chosen I will sell to anybody, but my content is geared towards women 50 plus. Mm-hmm. So I talk a lot more about the anti-aging products and what this kind of business opportunity could mean for someone at our time of life. Mm-hmm. And how that really helps me, Ruthie, is I don't have to, I have parameters around my content, so I don't have to think of a million things to post about. But I have some guidelines, and I think that's much more effective because I really doubt somebody 18 years old is following me on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah,
just narrowing it down, having your categories, know exactly what you will post about and what you won't post about and how frequently you're going to do it frees up so much mind space.
Right.
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
And that's definitely something that I love to teach because once I get into it with people and just kind of lay out the strategy, then they're like, oh, that is so much easier and it just frees me up, like
so freeing.
I don't have to work so hard at it now. So,
well, and Instagram is only a piece of what we have to do in our business. So we can't just do Instagram. It's a piece of it. There's a lot of things we have to do. So that really made it easy. Yeah,
exactly. It's been so exciting to see the transformation. And I call Cathy a lifer because she'll come back. She'll circle back every once in a while and say, hey, I'm going to change my strategy. Can we talk about this?
Yeah.
And she just knows that it's the easiest way, to the point that she wants to get. And so I really appreciate you, Cathy, and your support. You've been a good friend through all this too. It's been fun to just connect. I mean, on the grandma level and on the faith level too. Cathy and I share our faith in God, and Cathy is good to share that with her audience too, because that's a huge part of her message too. And what are the categories that you share?
Well, I share the Rodan Fields. I share faith, personal growth, and family, which really mostly means grandchildren because they're the cutest.
And they say such cute things. And so
they make such good content.
Yeah, they do.
Our big joke is like, of the 4 grandchildren, who gets the most engagement on Instagram? I tease my kids about it. So
all of that works together, though. I mean, if you can share about that certain age group, like you and me, we're the grandmas, we're the Gigi's,
right?
And then that attracts the people that are in our age group. So I hope this encourages others that are listening in to know that life is not done once your kids are, in the young adult stage or adult stage. But there are a lot more things out there that we can do. And Instagram is a small part of it, but an exciting part of it.
Yeah.
And I love what you've done with it, Cathy. Where can people find you?
Cathy _Lawdanski at Instagram mostly, or Cathy Lawdanski on Facebook, but really I'm mostly on Instagram because that's another thing I decided in January to be laser focused on one platform until I learned it well. And that's kind of still where I am. Yeah. And I think I'm I mean, it's been a slow build, but I'm just really seeing the payoff, and it just builds and builds and builds. And now I'm really seeing the fruit of it. So here we are in May, and I've been really laser focused. Mm-hmm. So that pays off.
Yeah, because we kicked off January with a pro coaching group.
Yeah, we did.
Cathy was consistent. She was in there. She was present. She didn't let anything else distract her from her goal of mastering Instagram and seeing how it could work for her. And she made a strategy and a plan, and she never let up. And so now she is reaping the rewards, and that is just so exciting. Yeah. Yay. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today, Cathy, and for your encouragement. And I'm hoping that, some other women out there our age can see that, hey, there's hope. There's Insta hope, right?
And it is awesome. It feels so good to learn something new, and you can do it.
Yep, that is for sure. Well, I hope that you come away from this interview with a better grasp of what it's like to actually reach your target audience without sales pressure. I feel like Cathy has given us lots and lots of insight. And just to summarize, I want to say 7 points. Number 1, Instagram should be relationship focused, not numbers focused. Taking the time to get to know followers in the DM reaps huge benefits. Number 2, if you are a middle-aged mama, you can make Instagram work for you, just like Cathy and I did. It just takes time and concentration and probably a bit of investment. It's worth it. Number 3, the 4 neighborhoods of Instagram, feed, stories, IGTV, live video, work together to reach a broader audience faster. Number 4, hashtags help you reach your target audience and get the click over. Number 5, create categories for your posts to free up mind space and make posting faster. Number 6, niche your target audience's age group and share material that resonates with their likes and dislikes. And number 7, share, care, be genuine, and don't expect everyone to buy. Deliver value. And that's exactly what Cathy has done. Thank you for listening to Instagram Insider Hacks. So easy your mom can do it. Join us next week where I'm going to answer my founding podcast members' questions. If you are enjoying this podcast, could I ask you a huge favor? Please go and leave a review, and I'll send you virtual chocolate. See you next time.